Legacy, presented by Wendy's.
This rivalry is so personal for me.
Michigan's going to regret teaching us how to play football.
Boykin, the receiver, caught it. Armstrong to the 5. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
It's going to be a special night. Let's square up and let's go.
Wimbush looking deep. Chris Fink down there. Did he catch it? Yes! Touchdown, Irish.
We get to pave our road right now.
It's going to be a fight to the end.
Armstrong in for the touchdown. All the way for a Michigan touchdown.
Let's go, boys. It's time to put on. Showtime.
Big game, big atmosphere, big plays in that first half. Welcome back to Notre Dame Stadium. Time for our first half stats brought to you by Wendy's. Michigan limited to just 90 yards on 27 plays. Notre Dame ran 13 more plays, much more effective. A turnover-free first half. Brian Kelly's team was up 21-3. Then Jim Harbaugh's folks got their biggest play of the half. The Ambry-Thomas 99-yard kickoff return to make it 21-10 as we get set for the third quarter. Mike Tirico, Doug Flutie, Catherine Tappan, Terry McCauley, our rules expert, up here in the booth with us on this very humid night. The temperature and the humidity both in the mid-70s, so it is soggy. And Doug, game one, it'll be a factor here in the second half. Conditioning for both teams will be tested.
No doubt about it. They haven't been through 4 quarters of intense football yet. Already we've had a couple of guys cramp up a little bit. By the fourth quarter, that could really kick in.
Justin Yoon back to the kickoff man, no return, and we go down to the sideline and Catherine Tappan.
Well, Mike, I spoke to Brian Kelly at halftime, and he told me he was happy with the way that his team played both on offense and defense, but he said we need to get better at the kicking game. That's because special teams, it's really been the lone bright spot so far for Michigan. Jim Harbaugh told me we need to play better on both sides, and on defense especially, we need to restrict Notre Dame's running lanes, Mike.
You look at the running that Wimbush has been able to do, Doug, as he's stepped up in the pocket or in the regular design runs for the quarterback. Only 38 yards, but some effective ones. So the Ole Miss transfer, Shea Patterson, making his Michigan debut. 9 of 12 in that first half, but only 62 yards. The longest completion was 12 yards. And before the first play, we have a delay of game.
Offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
So Terry McCauley, bring it right in because that's a rule change here about starting a drive after a kickoff.
Absolutely, Mike. As soon as the kick ends, within a second or two, they're going to start the play clock. Team offense has to get their players out and snap it within 40 seconds.
They did not, so it's 1st and 15 as Michigan starts this drive at the 20 now. And Patterson on play action, looking for a deep shot, trying to get it downfield, trying to make something happen. And Nico Collins is there for the Wolverines. They needed to stretch the field. We said the only long pass was a 12-yarder. They do it there.
Nico Collins running past Julian Love with no safety help because of the corner route. The safety starts to go up. Now the ball is perfectly placed to the inside so Collins can go in and get it. The route, actually, when I was making my initial read on the route, I was throwing the corner route because it was wide open. He held on to the ball, let Collins run, and threw it in a great spot for him.
52 yards. Biggest play Michigan's had from scrimmage tonight. They're at the Notre Dame 28, and Patterson's back up top. And that pass is caught deep. He fell down. Donovan Peoples-Jones to the 15 in front of Troy Pride Jr.
Shea Patterson getting a chance to get back out on the field after the kickoff return for a touchdown. Basically, he went a long window of time without running plays. So it's been a while since he's been wheeling and dealing out there. He comes out firing the first couple of plays.
Notre Dame had a 15-yard drive, an 15-play drive, and an 8-play drive. Patterson in trouble, flushed by Kareem, and the pass is incomplete. The intended receiver was Grant Perry, and Khalid Kareem, who was chasing Patterson, is the one who's down for Notre Dame. Very end of the play, had a sack in the first half. Oh, and takes a bad step with that left ankle twisting as he was jumping around Patterson. And has apparently injured that left leg. So they look at the junior defensive end out of Detroit, Michigan, and we'll take a timeout. So the offensive line coach, Ed Warner, was right in the middle of that huddle there. He's the new offensive line coach for Michigan. There he is. He's an analyst on this staff. His time at Ohio State, Minnesota. Before that, also has Notre Dame in his background back in 2010, 2011. The injured player, Kareem, did jog off under his own power. It is 2nd and 10 for Michigan in the red zone. Just outside the 16. Patterson, good hands up to knock it down by Adi Okindiji. Adekunbo Okindiji, the defensive end who comes in for the injured Kareem. He's also from the Detroit area, West Bloomfield, Michigan.
Okindiji coming from the left, gets the hands up, and there's nowhere to put this ball for Patterson. And as a smaller quarterback, sometimes you can drop down sidearm and get it around them or drift away. There was nowhere to go with that ball.
Grant Perry was digging back for that receiver screen. Clark Lee, the new Notre Dame defensive coordinator, has seen his unit do a good job on 3rd downs here tonight, especially this portion of the field. 3rd and 10. Irish bringing 4. Patterson out of the pocket, going end zone, incomplete for Donovan Peoples-Jones. Nick Coleman came in as the nickel with the coverage. Field goal will make it an 8-point game, and Michigan will send out that unit.
Little pressure in the pocket, forced Patterson to step up, and it just got clustered. It wasn't like someone was going to hit him right away, but there's just no vision because everything got backed up in his face. Threw the ball long and incomplete. 34-yard field goal attempt for Nordine. Was the #1 ranked place kicker by many of the recruiting services coming out of high school in Rockford, Michigan. Bad snap. Was not held on to by the holder Hart, who is running for his life, and he will get thrown down. I shouldn't say bad snap. I think Hart made the mistake. It was a botch snap. I thought it was clean and catchable, and Hart, a returning holder, I think just blew it. It just slips out of his hands, bringing it down, and it's over. I mean, you make your call to whether it's bingo, fire, whatever, so hopefully people release. No one released down the field. He had nowhere to throw the ball, just held on to it, took the loss. That's a big 3 points. Oh, huge. It would have cut it to a 1-score game. It just happens. It's game 1. You have returning players. It's not a new player at the position. Again, it's a hot, humid night, but you know, that's life week 1. It's such a different feel than every other sport. I always loved having a holder that was in the flow of the game, whether it be a receiver or a quarterback that was playing, that had already broken a sweat. Jafar Armstrong takes the first down run to the edge, a gain of 3. Tyreen Cannell and Chase Winovich in on the tackle. One of Michigan's safeties, if you're not with us the first half, Josh Metellus, ejected for a targeting foul as he hit Notre Dame tight end Alize Mack, 86, who cleared concussion protocol. He's back in. Irish back on the gas pedal, going quick. Wimbush hit as he puts it downfield, and it's intercepted. Taken away and turned back the other way by Brandon Watson. The corner, he's out of bounds across midfield. And the first turnover of the game comes from the Irish. Winovich gets to the quarterback. Wimbush can't wait long enough to see exactly what happens down the field, so he puts it up, anticipating something to happen. Hainsey getting beat by Winovich, just throws him. Great pressure on the quarterback. Now, Claypool did put the brakes on, so now the ball's picked off. Here you've got to make that tackle as a receiver. This turns into a punt return, running back up the field. That's 20 yards of field position. Great play by Watson to find the ball in the air, run it down. Out of Wilmington, Delaware, 5th-year senior. So predates Harbaugh here in the program, gets his first career Michigan interception. Wolverines back on the field in good field position, just shy of midfield. Ron Higdon, no place to go for Higdon. Asmar Bilal, the rover from Indianapolis, comes over, and Tavon Coney helps him finish the deal. This offensive line for Michigan cannot handle the front 7 of Notre Dame. They're getting penetration, shedding blocks, getting into the backfield. Michigan has been unable to run the ball effectively tonight. Second and 14. Story remains the same. I should say Kareem back in the game, makes the tackle
for the Irish. This was one of the stories coming into this season. Michigan's offensive line was not good enough last year. Would they be better? And so far tonight, they haven't been.
And all we heard was how much improved they were through training camp. They won their share of battles against this tough Michigan defense in camp.
Snap being held for a moment. Play clock down to 10. Wolverines need to get to the Irish 41. Patterson gets rid of it. It's complete, but not going to be able to get to the first down marker is Nick Eubanks. Spilled in the open field by Drew Tranquil. It's 4th and 4 at the Irish 45. It's 3.5 minutes in.
Tranquil closing the gap right here. Just puts on the brakes and heads to the sideline. I mean, he was wide open and had open field in front of him. Closed the gap short of the first down.
So Troy Pride, number 5, the corner, pulled up there as he came to the sideline for Notre Dame. Michigan going to go for it here on 4th and 4. It's 4 minutes into the third quarter.
Man coverage.
And Patterson gets rid of it quick. Incomplete. And the Irish will take over. Intended for Zach Gentry. Alohi Gilman, who's been terrific in coverage tonight, was there again. And this Notre Dame defense is taking the headlines. The Michigan defense doing the job at home in the opener. Their flight disappeared 5 years ago. Today it landed, and they haven't aged a day. Manifest. Very intriguing new series. It's going to be Mondays this fall. 3 weeks and a couple of days away here on NBC. It does sound great, doesn't it?
How does that happen?
Don't age a day, right? Collinsworth had the same reaction when Al read the promo a week ago, so we look forward to that show. Notre Dame takes over at the 45-yard line, and going nowhere is Jafar Armstrong. Chase Winovich in on that stop. We saw Robert Hainsey, the right tackle who was beaten on that last play for Notre Dame. It was intercepted, run off the field. That means Tommy Kramer is in there, 78. He was the starting guard. He moves to tackle. Josh Lugg, a sophomore, is in there in the guard spot. 2nd and 10. Wimbush under duress, puts it up for grabs. Armstrong didn't come back for it. It's incomplete. He just had to get rid of it, and Michigan's turning up the heat now on the Irish quarterback, Doug.
Every play, Gary and Winovich are cutting that edge down and getting in Wimbush's face, not giving him enough time to really go up the field with the ball. Look at the two. It's like chasing the quarterback every play, closing that edge.
Fierce pressure. It's no surprise. These guys were among the top pressure providers on defense in the country last year. Winovich thought about going pro, didn't. Gary's the former #1 recruit in the country. They are studs. Now pressure coming. It's picked up. Wimbush going up top here, and that pass incomplete. And it's a very quick 3-and-out. Kevin Austin, a freshman who might do big things here down the line for the Irish, was the intended receiver.
Again, quick pressure, great pressure. Wimbush now really has to anticipate, put the ball up early and guess. When the pressure gets to you that quickly, you can beat it with your arm, but now you really have to anticipate, just lob it out there and hope you guess right with where your receiver's getting his release. Ball falls incomplete.
These last two drives look like the Michigan defense we talked about at the start. Tyler Newsome, captain, poor punt earlier. This one much more like it, and couldn't put the left turn signal on. Goes all the way through the end zone. 55 the kick, 35 the net. Michigan takes over at the 20. And we remind you that Notre Dame football is brought to you by Wendy's, the official hamburger of NCAA football. By Discover Card, we treat you like you treat you. By Untuck It, shirts designed to be worn untucked. Untuckit.com. And by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer. You see some of the names that have made fall so special at these two schools, including Tom Brady, who got his first ever start as the Michigan quarterback against the Fighting Irish. Taking over at the 20, Chris Evans is now the running back. He's been in a couple of series, only gets 1.5 yards there. Evans, who was the second back last year like he is now, out of Indianapolis Ben Davis High School. 681-yard season, 685, I should say, last year for the Wolverines.
He's a little more of a receiver out of the backfield, a slasher, a guy they do a few more things with. Screen game, maybe.
Second and 8. Patterson gets it to Donovan Peoples-Jones. Got a block from Nico Collins as receiver. Gain about 5. It'll be 3rd and 3 coming up. Those of you who are watching Alabama, they're cleaning out Louisville 28-0. No surprise. Not competitive there at the break. We welcome you to South Bend. Mike Tirico, Doug Flutie, Catherine Tappan, Terry McCauley up here, our officiating expert in the booth with us. Michigan's vaunted defense gave up 21 in the first half. Notre Dame jumped out to a 14-0 lead. A 99-yard kickoff return, the only touchdown for the Wolverines in the first matchup in 4 years between these two legendary programs. 3rd and 3. The Notre Dame defense has been very good on this down thus far. They're going to chase down this option toss to Evans, who circles back, but not going to get there. And Clark Lee, the first-year defensive coordinator for Notre Dame, has his guys playing fast and playing well.
Watch Bill Lyle out on the outside. You got to, as an option quarterback, you got to close that gap before pitching the ball. He pitched the ball a little bit early. Bill Lyle had an opportunity to cover both the quarterback and the pitchback and close the gap.
There's the 36-year-old Clark Lee. He got the job after last season, a very successful season for Mike Elko, who went to Texas A&M. Lee promoted from the linebackers coach and is doing a very good job thus far in his first game ever as a college coordinator. Will Hart kicks it away. Well pressured. A flag is down after this 51-yard punt is fair, caught by Fink back at the 23-yard line. It was 4th and 4. So let's check this flag that was thrown right near the line of scrimmage. It's on the Wolverines.
Illegal formation. Offense, 5 men in the backfield. The receiving team is elected to add 5 yards to the end of the run. Receiving team's ball, 1st down.
Jim Harbaugh's unhappy. His offense hasn't been very good, especially on the ground thus far. Irish by 11 about halfway through this 3rd quarter. Well, tomorrow, NASCAR pays tribute to 7 decades of racing and the legends that made it special. The Southern 500 at Darlington, 6 Eastern on NBCSN. Texting with our analyst, Dale Earnhardt Jr. today. He said, hey, make sure you call it a speedway. It's old school. It's not a track. It's a speedway, but it's one of his favorite weekends of the year. Throwback, retro. If you love old NASCAR, you'll enjoy the race tomorrow on NBCSN. Wimbush 1st down keeping. And he's not going to go very far, gaining only a yard. Brad Hawkins, the tackle. And now, Doug, Michigan's defense is honing in on shutting down number 7 as a runner. Going to make him beat him in the air.
Absolutely. And when he's throwing the ball, trying to go up the field now, pressure is getting to him on the throws that are down the field. He hasn't had the time he had early in the game. Devin Bush is back in at linebacker.
Bush, number 10, the first-team All-America preseason for Michigan, left at the end of the first half with cramps, and there he is! Throwing Wimbush to the ground inside the 20-yard line. So the return of Devin Bush Jr., a 5-sack man last year, sends the Irish way back.
And he just, this is athleticism. He runs right by Sam Mustipher, tries to slide to him right through, straight. No opportunity for Wimbush to get rid of the ball. There's speed, quickness, little agility in there. Oh, he went for the ball too as well, which was a great try for the strip.
So now 3rd and 18. This Michigan defense cranking it up. Wimbush taking off. He's taking a bunch of hits here. Can he get to the 1st down line? He did! What a run by Wimbush. Wow, 1st down Irish.
Quarterback draw with a lead blocker, Tony Jones. Tony Jones, number 6, gets in front of Wimbush and just gets a piece of his man, creates the crease, Mustipher upfield. Now watch the power running. He puts his shoulder down and go. 2 plays ago, I wanted him to turn one up into a 3-yard gain. He said he took it wide. There, he got tough and ran.
Thanksgiving this time, Tony Jones Jr. runs right. Somebody else take a hit, please. two yards for him. Doug, what did Brian Kelly tell us? Wimbush is his best running back.
Absolutely.
Kind of playing him that way right here tonight.
Well, the other guys have no carries. I mean, Tony Jones had some carries, but no one else had any experience at all. And Brandon Wimbush is a strong, powerful runner. You can't put your shoulder down every time. He did it in a third down situation when he needed the first down.
2nd and 7 to give. This time Jones broke through that arm tackle and gets the first down. Jamaric Woods, the safety, came up. Bush was involved in that hit as well. He's been all over the place since that last drive. It's a first down, and Bush is slow to get up.
Yeah, he's been
coming off here.
Those were a couple big first downs for Notre Dame to stem some of the momentum that Michigan had had. They had a 3-and-out in the last opportunity. So that was that run by Wimbush on the quarterback draw was huge.
Devin Gill is going to come in to replace Devin Bush Jr. So the timeout taken. Don Brown.
Seconds, please. There is no charge timeout.
So if there's no charge timeout, what are coaches doing on the field there?
And how come the ball's not being set and snapped?
Right. And it happened on that sideline there, and they've got to know that at that point. The officials have to administrate that. Brian Kelly wants to know what's going on. Why?
Yeah, there's no timeout, but there's 100 players on the field, 5 or 10 coaches. And I think what Kelly's upset is we had a little. He's saying we had a little rhythm going here, and you're stopping that.
Well, in that situation, it's over on the Michigan sideline. They took the time, and the officials did the proper thing as they marked the first down. Perhaps the back judge saw Bush was hurt. They gave him time to get out, make the substitution. They need to do administratively, get the clock reset. All well and good, but why you let coaches over there? You're on that sideline. That's what Kelly was upset about, and he had every reason to be. Especially because you're taking your middle linebacker out, and you get a chance to get
organized.
his head together. Exactly. 1st and 10 from the 44.
Crosshair.
Wimbush under pressure, got away from the would-be sack. Looking downfield and fires. Caught by Claypool on the sideline. At the 25-yard line, a first down. Devin Gill came in, had a chance, didn't finish.
Claypool comes in motion and runs across the field. He's open right now. Usually the ball would be thrown. Wimbush is busy avoiding people, moving around. Finally finds him.
He almost went out of bounds, too. Almost went out of bounds. 19 on that gain, and that one runs into the back of the offensive lineman, so Michael Dwumfor is going to get the easy stop on Tony Jones Jr. I know you saw him open because I heard you yell crosser.
Crosser.
Do we have a ball in the booth? Do we need to get the ball back in your hands?
I wanted to throw the corner out when Jay Patterson was throwing the post, and he hit the post. Sometimes more than one guy's open. You got to have multiple balls. Great job by Wimbush buying time. Well, not buying time, just avoiding the sack, and then finding the receiver down the field. Athletic quarterbacks.
Big first down defensive play by Michigan makes it 2nd and long. It's a tough defense to pick these up on. Jones going to run it to the left. It's going to set up about 3rd and 11 here. Brandon Watson with a tackle for Michigan. 4:20 to go. Neither team has scored in this 3rd quarter.
It kind of looked like the play you run to make sure you're in field goal range. And now maybe you take a shot.
3rd and 11. Wimbush has time. He's putting it up top. He's going for Miles Boykin at the pylon. Caught for the touchdown.
Well, we expected to see some of this.
We're going to have to see the replay, too. It's going to be very close. It's his knee down.
Miles Boykin, tall receiver, go up, throw him some fade routes. Great adjustment to the ball. He took an inside release on Watson. The ball's thrown over the outside shoulder. He turns and finds it. I believe this will stand. I think the knee scrapes the ground.
You got a flag back here, too. You see the flag in the back there, so the flag is going to negate looking at the replay or anything. And it's going to be a flag on Notre Dame that will back them up. That would have been a very interesting replay call there, but there was a flag thrown right on the 30-yard line. Ineligible receiver downfield was the call.
There wasn't a run-pass option, was it?
Didn't look like it at the start.
No, it looked like a true pass play. So
Play clock running. Brian Kelly's telling his team they've got to get going here for this 3rd down and 16 at the 31, right on the fringe of Yoon's field goal range.
This is usually quarterback draw area where he wants to get into field goal range.
Got the snap, outnumbered on the left, so the pressure came, and Wimbush avoided one tackle. Devin Gill gets him there, and it's going to be 4th down. Terry McCauley.
All right, ineligible downfield. Any part of the lineman's body has to be more than 3 yards. So we're snapping it from about the 26.5.
Wow, where's that?
All right, okay,
the
here's
only possibility there.
Covered receiver. Let's go back and look and see if we got a receiver covered.
Okay, we'll go back and look at that here after the field goal attempt coming up for Justin Yoon. But certainly none of the linemen were downfield, but has somebody become that ineligible receiver because they recovered and thus went downfield? We'll sort that momentarily. In the meantime, it's Yoon from 48 yards out. His long last year was 49. Off in time, and Yoon knocks it through. So the senior from Nashville, Tennessee, with a big field goal for the Irish. They're up 14. We'll look at that penalty that happened on the rookie touchdown when we come back. Let's show you why there was no touchdown, if it would have been inbounds or not, for Notre Dame. Terry McCauley's with us. Terry?
So if you got the wide receiver too far up on the line, he's clearly covering the tight end. So the tight end now cannot go downfield more than 3 yards. He does before the pass is thrown. This is a foul for an ineligible downfield.
So when you see receivers take that step back off the line when the tight end comes in motion, that's so everybody can be eligible as a receiver. Thus, Komet 84 was treated as a lineman there. And that's why that was an eligible lineman or a receiver downfield.
Get on, Mike.
Thank you, Terry. Touchback there. So Ambry Thomas with the 99-yard kickoff return hasn't put his hands on it since. Shea Patterson, the Michigan offense. We didn't know what they were going to have. Clark Lee, what was he doing in his first time as a defensive coordinator in college? He was studying tape. He looked at San Francisco and Colin Kaepernick. He looked at Florida because that's where the new receivers coach, Jim McElwain, was the head coach. He looked at Minnesota and Ohio State because that's where the offensive line coach was. He looked at Michigan. He looked at Ole Miss, just trying to figure out what they were going to be offensively, the Wolverines. So far, Clark Lee's defense has done well. 40 plays for Michigan and 155 yards. The give to Karan Higdon, the back, running to the edge, and Higdon gets to the 34-yard line. Devin Stutt still the tackle. What about this Notre Dame defense, Doug, here tonight?
I think the defensive line, the front seven in general, has beaten the Michigan offensive line. In the run game, they're getting across spaces. They're getting penetration on pass plays. Dalen Hayes has been getting in the backfield all day long, and Tranquo has been going sideline to sideline at the linebacker position.
Michigan's offense, 7 possessions, just 3 points tonight. Patterson throws to Donovan Peoples-Jones. Tries to make a couple of men miss. He'll get the first down just shy of the 40-yard line. Liam McHugh and Chris Sims showed us at halftime the UCLA highlights, and I know all the Michigan fans send their concerns to Wilton Spate, who had a spine injury last year. Week 4 was injured in his debut as the UCLA starter. But whether it was Spate or Brandon Peters or John O'Korn, the quarterbacking position, had Michigan fans feeling like they do tonight, where the offense just isn't giving them high-level football against a good defense. That's the story thus far. Still time. Patterson, play action, about to get hit. Got away from Bilal's would-be sack and got himself very close to a first down. He slid, so it's where the ball was when the slide began. It's a yard shy of the first down, but a good play by Patterson.
Bill Lyle coming off the edge, and Patterson just slips under it. He's a great athlete, keeps his balance and takes off. Even though they haven't scored a lot of points offensively, they've only gotten to 3. The quarterback play is much better than what they were getting last year. It's a more confident throwing, more accurate throws. They just haven't put it all together to get it in the end zone.
And Notre Dame's defense has been good against that front. 2nd and 1, maybe a free play, maybe a shot. Patterson hit as he throws. The underthrow is intercepted by Julian Okwara. Downfield, the end, who is playing the drop end in coverage, goes back, makes the pick, and Patterson limps over towards the sideline. Tavon Coney brought the pressure that started it all.
Tavon Coney coming up through the middle, gets the pressure. He's coming right up through. He's the one with the pressure, so Patterson tries to guess and throw the ball early and lay it out there. The ball comes up way short. And actually, Julian Okwara does a nice job of getting his head around and finding the football, because he did not see that ball for very long and made the catch.
His brother Romeo plays in the NFL, and Patterson, if there was a knock on him, Doug, during his Ole Miss time, he was playing a lot of blowout games, but sometimes he put balls up for grabs and turned it over. And Brian Kelly sees his defense come up with a turnover for the first time tonight.
Just as I said, the quarterback play has been pretty good.
Exactly. From the 36, Irish get it back, and Jafar Armstrong 2 rushing touchdowns tonight. Gains 5 yards. On the Michigan side of this thing, it's been a while since they've beaten a good team in a true road game. Haven't beaten a ranked team in a true road game away from Ann Arbor since 2006. That was Notre Dame right here. Chris Fink. Half the Michigan defense stops him a yard shy of the first down as we get inside of a minute here in this third quarter. It's not all Harbaugh. It goes back to Brady Hoke and before that with Rich Rodriguez. But the point is, Michigan's got to get away from the big house and get one. They've got some neutral site wins, but against a ranked team on the road, got to get one. Fighting for that extra yard, bent back. Let's see where that mark is going to be for Jafar Armstrong. Line judge comes in. Looks like he's moving it forward. He is. Now first down. Very interesting there. Jim Harbaugh is asking.
Jimmy saw that. You know, he saw where the ball should have been marked from over there in that mess, and knows it should have been short.
Well, he's standing right at that mark at the 46-yard line. Didn't like the mark.
Not at all.
It's first down. They don't stop to look at the mark and replay. Armstrong loses 3 yards there. As we get to the end of the third quarter, only points at Notre Dame field goal, and off we go to the fourth quarter with the score. Notre Dame 24, Michigan 10. Back at Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC, presented by Wendy's.
You're watching Wood TV 8.
From South Bend, tonight's aerial coverage being brought to you by the unexpected energy of Exxon Mobil. First 2 drives, 2 Notre Dame touchdowns. Michigan's been trying to dig out ever since. As we said last time, the Wolverines had the ball. Only 3 points scored by the offense. 1 kickoff return, their lone touchdown. Notre Dame 24, Michigan 10. The fourth quarter begins with 2nd and 13 for the Irish. The 5-man pressure on Wimbush going up top again, and it's Alize Mack who cannot hold on. It's incomplete. Miles Boykin went down awkwardly. Mack goes down as well. Mack, the tight end, limping back towards the huddle, and Boykin, who almost caught a touchdown on the prior drive, stays on the knee.
Richie does a nice job of getting his hand in there to knock it out. So somewhere on the falling to the ground, a little collision.
Yeah, as Mack goes down, he ends up getting Boykin on the heel from behind there, right there. And Boykin is walking off. Miles Boykin became a hero for the Irish last year, catching that touchdown. It was a 55-yard game winner at the Citrus Bowl. He had 102 of his 253 receiving yards in the bowl game victory over LSU.
He reached up with one paw and snatched it out of the air, made 2 defenders fall. Well, they fell to the ground kind of on their own, and he took it the rest of the way.
And it's now Boykin and Chase Claypool who become the wide receiving targets. Equinemius St. Brown off to the NFL. Kevin Stefferson dismissed from the team. C.J. Sanders now at SMU. So a different looking receiving corps for Wimbush. 3rd and 13. They're going to run here on 3rd and 13, and they're going to run backwards. Winovich comes up to stop Jafar Armstrong with a loss of 4, and it will be punt time for the Irish. Much better half defensively for the Wolverines.
Winovich coming off the edge is just a madman. He just comes flying down, and the second this play gets delayed at all on the front side where you have to cut back, it's over. Done.
Anybody's good unblocked. This guy's really good when he is blocked.
He's got a knack for lowering his shoulder, getting very low with speed around the corner.
Tyler Newsome kicking. will be untouched. Will it stop before the goal line? It will. 57 yards, and Michigan will have 96 yards to go bring it down the field. John Shannon, the long snapper, was down there to stop it at the 4. Jim Harbaugh, year 4 in A squared, Ann Arbor. This university's football team used to wins. Wasn't getting many before Jim came in from the 49ers. 10-3, but 3rd in the Big Ten East. Same record the next year. Again, 3rd in that loaded half of the Big Ten. Then last year, 8-5, 4th in the league. And really, when you take a step back and look at it, Michigan didn't beat many good teams last year. Losing to the big guys is really good. But the only team they beat with a winning record was Purdue. And Purdue ended up 7-6. So Michigan has to do better against the best. First down run backed up inside their own 5. Only 1 yard there for Karan Higdon. And Doug, let's mention for a second here Tyler Newsome, the punter for Notre Dame. He had a bad punt earlier on that we brought up, but 2 punts now have pinned Michigan back inside their own 5 to start drives.
He couldn't have kicked that any farther. That was a bomb with hang time, and then the thing dies inside the 5-yard line. Gilman is having a heck of a game at safety right now for Notre Dame. He came up in a hurry on that last play with a fill.
Alohi Gilman, number 11 for the Irish. Another run with Higdon this time. Puts his head down. Asmar Bilal tackles him, but after a first down is achieved, out at the 16-yard line.
That was the first clean run at point of attack for Michigan in a while. Creasing it.
Patterson's down. I wonder if Patterson is feeling the effects of the hits he's taken and this long, humid night. And there's Dylan McCaffrey, who has got the helmet on and ready to come in. So Brandon Peters was the quarterback who started 4 games for the Wolverines last year. You know, information's very hard to come by. Michigan doesn't put out a 2-deep. They're very difficult to give you a hint at what's going to be happening. So no clear sign of who is going to be the backup quarterback. But there's Peters, who, as we said, not only started 4 but played 6. But Dylan McCaffrey, sophomore out of Castle Rock, Colorado, just outside of Denver. The son of Eddie McCaffrey, you know, was a terrific player in the NFL, and his brother Christian is now in the National Football League. He's running back with the Panthers as Patterson comes over. Dylan McCaffrey, who was a champion in a pretty good high school area for football out there in the Denver suburbs, comes into the game to make his debut. Sophomore, scout team MVP last year. Patterson might be out briefly, but here comes Dylan McCaffrey. One thing they said, top to bottom, the quarterback room had better play in the preseason. Comes in and he hands it off. It's Higdon to the 19-yard line. And did you like the build-up? Good, because he handed off
Shea Patterson right back in. But they raved about McCaffrey's athleticism as well. So in this style of offense, the things they're doing, he is the second guy in. Where Brandon Peters would be more of a drop back under center type of guy. So with the spread stuff and the quarterback runs and the movement.
Well, glad we were ready for McCaffrey.
We were ready.
The sophomoric surreptitious no 2-deep thing has been talked about a lot with Michigan. That's their prerogative. It's all fine and good. Alabama and Clemson put out 2-deeps. 2nd and 7. And here is Shea Patterson back of the he almost was down, and a big hit on Sean McCune as Patterson, still with that cramping, should have to come back off. Jalen Elliott with the hit. His knee was almost down when he threw the ball, which would have been down even though no contact in college. But Patterson's coming back over the sideline.
Yeah, he's on the move and probably started cramping up in the middle of the run, and he just had to get rid of the ball.
He was not down. His knee didn't come down, so there's a great call back there.
He still managed to get the play done and get the completion.
And the big hit on McCune, so McCaffrey comes back. A lot of guys have been cramping thus far. Not sure if that's what it is with Patterson. It appears as such. 3rd and 5. Dylan McCaffrey is going to roll and throw for the first time, complete for the first down to Grant Perry. Man, you talk about being one snap away and throwing yourself into a big moment. Dylan McCaffrey answers the call.
But he's an athletic kid. You get him on the perimeter, just sprint out, easy route right in front of his face for a first completion. 3rd down conversion, gain your confidence.
Dylan McCaffrey was the number 2 quarterback in the nation via several of the recruiting services. There's a lot of that it factor. When seen in 2-minute drills, he has performed well. Comfortable on the big stage. A couple of yards here for Higdon. It's an interesting time now. Who knows what's wrong with Patterson? Let's just say he is cramping. Let's make the obvious assumption as he's taking the water there. No athletic trainers are looking at him otherwise. McCaffrey's in. It's 10:58. You're down to about 2 or 3 drives left in the game. You need 14 points. You still have plenty of time to be patient and run the ball, but things are going to get snug here really fast for the Maize and Blue.
And they're going with the under center offense, so that's run the ball and play action.
From the 30, McCaffrey has some time. He takes off with the run for about 3 yards. Tavon Coney, the first hit. Here's Catherine Tappan on that humid sideline.
Well, Mike, they're working on both of Shea Patterson's legs, massaging them and his calves, but it's mainly that right calf that appears to be cramping up. He's drinking lots of water. Both the trainers are bringing many water bottles over to him, and it appears to be an issue for a lot of players on this field tonight, Mike. It's very hot and steamy down here, but we'll keep an eye on Patterson on the sideline.
All right, Tap, as we said, it's 77 now. The humidity's in the 70s as well. It's just one of those you walk out and you start sweating. Under 10 minutes to go in the game, 3rd and 6. McCaffrey has 5 options. He throws complete. Donovan Peoples-Jones hangs on. That's a first down. So as Troy Pride Jr., the cornerback, seems to be in that same situation, Doug. Let's see that mark now. Oh, it's going to be 4th down. He's going to be just short. It looked like Peoples-Jones had the spot there at the 38-yard line, but he's marked just short.
You know, if you're coming out short of it, turn that shoulder up and drive into the defender and try to get the first down.
Harbaugh's yelling, look at the video.
Yeah, let's look at the spot, Mike. I mean, you had one official at the top of the screen, rule forward progress beyond the line of gain, and you had the official at the bottom mark it shorts.
Line to gain is the 38-yard line. It's interesting, Terry, because the ball's in his right hand, right? And that ends up being pushed out of bounds. But where's the forward progress here?
It's the foremost point of the ball when contact was made by the defender. That's what we're looking at. That's where they should put the football. Is it definitive? Is it enough for replay to come down and say he's absolutely behind? I'm not sure we have that down the line shot, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, the camera that's shooting that is right next to us in the booth. It's right around the 40-41 yard line. But let's take one more peek at that, Terry, and explain the forward progress one more time as we watch.
Okay, we're gonna get marked forward progress at the foremost point of the ball when contact's made by the defender. He's gonna get him right there, and he's right there, right when he hits him. That's his foremost point of progress. That's where the ball should have been spotted. It looked to me not a great angle down the line, but it looks like he had it.
And that's another point we should discuss, because you really need that down the line look, so exactly down that yard line to be definitive as a replay official to say flip the call.
No question. There's nothing we've seen that replay can reverse it so far.
This is a reverse angle that, again, is not down the 38-yard line. On the camera down every yard line, so you have to look for a landmark.
Again, I think he made the first down. You can't change it if you only think he made the first down.
Well, there's no doubt that the ball should be marked a little bit forward, if not all the way to the first down line, to create a 4th and shorter, even if they don't give them the first down.
Now, you might see some, especially Big Ten fans, you've seen the officials look at little monitors on the sideline there. Here in the ACC, it's the replay official who's upstairs, Tom DeJoseph, who's on the line with the game official, Jeff Flanagan. Flanagan, the referee on the field, not looking at the replay.
After review, the runner made the line to gain. That results in a first down.
So it will be a first down.
Yeah.
Terry?
Okay. Yeah, apparently the replay official here at the stadium felt there was enough for him to reverse it. I don't think we had the lap down the line shot that proved it, but he felt we did, so first down.
There was a play earlier where replay did not stop a forward progress close call, so they do get involved there. And McCaffrey has picked up first downs, Doug, on 2 third-down passes, making his college debut here on the road, down 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. He's going to keep it here, and a good athlete, McCaffrey, with the run. But it's Aloy Gilman again for the tackle at the 42-yard line.
A short tackler in the open field, coming up quickly, fills his gaps, has defended passes. McCafferty's done a great job, though. I mean, that was a nice read on the zone where he pulled it appropriately. Positive gain on first down.
2nd and 5, pressure's coming. Nice pickup there as Dylan McCaffrey rolls the other way and completes it to Grant Perry for a first down right around midfield. So McCaffrey's picked up a couple of first downs, has this Michigan offense moving. Khalid Kareem, who was injured earlier for Notre Dame, is down back to the 35-yard line. He's being looked at as McCaffrey goes back to the sideline and Shea Patterson comes back in for Michigan.
Well, that time he had to throw the ball over a defender, made an accurate throw on the move again. 3 for 3.
So Patterson looks like he's ready to come back. Notre Dame injury and a timeout. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs. Be a sub above. By State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 1-800-STATE-FARM. By Cheez-It Brews. Cheez-It like never before. And by the Lincoln Motor Company. Some of the best of America sending their love and support and thoughts from around the world for these two great institutions. 40 seconds ago, Shea Patterson ran off. He was ready to come out with the team. Notre Dame had an injury, but Patterson cramped up again. He's probably going to get an IV. Dylan McCaffrey's back in. Play action, he's looking downfield. And McCaffrey's throws incomplete. Too tall for Sean McCune. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Great job by Julian Acquire running with McCune down the sideline. That's the first downfield throw from the pocket off of play action. He looked comfortable. Put the ball in a really good spot because he had to miss high if he missed it all. If he underthrows that ball at all, it's picked off.
It's kind of an interesting situation, Doug. If there wasn't the Notre Dame injury, Patterson would have been back out there. He might have cramped up during a play like he did before. Because of the Irish injury, circumstances happen to get McCaffrey back on the field. 2nd and 10. He throws it quickly out to Oliver Martin working the edge, and the Irish are all over there to come get him. Nick Coleman, who's playing the nickel. There's been so much going on tonight. We haven't mentioned Sean Crawford, who for the 3rd time in his Notre Dame career has a season-ending injury, an ACL, that happened in practice on Tuesday. He would have been the nickel along with Coleman. Coleman's in that role. He's done a good job tonight. And here comes a big 3rd down.
It's the first legitimate pass situation where he's going to have to stand in, may get pressure, has to read this thing out down the field now.
Empty backfield. Gets away from one tackler, not Jerry Tillery. It's not a sack, it's a gain of 2 on the run. 4th down, 8 minutes left, down 2 touchdowns. You almost have to go for it here at the Notre Dame 44, needing to get to the 38.
Dalen Hayes on the left side. Watch the spin move over here. Up the field, little spin up and under, and bang. He's right on the quarterback, flushes him out.
Mentioned he went to high school in Ann Arbor, but really was in California for most of his high school days. Played only 1 year, a couple of games at Ann Arbor Skyline High School. Michigan talked to him. He wasn't heavily recruited by the Wolverines. Playing against them tonight. Here's 4th and 7. Gotta go. Snap in time. McCaffrey's flushed. Chased. Fires downfield. Notre Dame ball at the 44. Harbaugh running down the field, looking for a flag, looking for a call. Not going to get it.
Higdon's going to be on the route. It's the only option he had after scrambling. Vaughn grabs a little and a little push, a little bit of contact going on, but not enough for a call.
Irish take over with 7:14 left and a 14-point lead. Our season is starting. The golf season's finishing. PGA Tour playoffs continue. 3rd round because of Labor Day finish. Dell Technologies Championship. Tiger shot a bogey-free 66. Today's tied for 21st. He and Bryson DeChambeau tee off at 11:35 Eastern. So Golf Channel have you covered starting at noon Eastern, then right here on NBC, 3 Eastern time. Webb Simpson took it deep today, 63, leading Justin Rose and Terrell Hatton by 1. Just a few weeks away from the Ryder Cup, too. What a month here on NBC. First down run and a big one for 9 yards. Tony Jones Jr. Doug, it's a 14-point Notre Dame lead. 7 minutes left. They got a first down there. It's why the clock stopped to move the chains. What's the mentality here for Chip Long, the offensive coordinator?
Stay in bounds, heat up some clock here, get in field goal range. You can ice it with a field goal.
Did you see him right there with the hold it up sign? He loves to
work that clock.
The thing I learned about Chip, and we were doing the games last year, he came from Memphis where it's like get the snap and go. How to use tempo to your advantage. And he just knows right now, foot off the gas pedal. Just bleed that play clock every chance we get it. First and 10. Took it all the way down. Brandon Wimbush will keep. He got a nice block from Nick Wisher. Nick Wisher, unheralded tight end. However, what did he do? What you just said.
Went out of bounds.
Exactly.
Turn that thing up and take it in bounds. Also, you can use that tempo to the line of scrimmage to get a defense to show their hand. That doesn't mean you have to snap the ball. You can still work the play clock.
Now, where we are on the game clock, it does get restarted, but it gets restarted with a shorter play clock. So you lose about 10 or 12 seconds of what you normally would be able to bleed off.
It's where the screen game can come into play as well.
Second and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. The most reliable, experienced running back, Tony Jones Jr., has it in his hands. Here comes a very big third down at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, the Michigan defense has stepped it up. I mean, Notre Dame's offense scored 3 touchdowns in their first 4 possessions of the game and has had only 1 field goal in the last 5. So the defense has definitely picked it up for Michigan. They've got to keep getting the ball back to their offense because they're still down 2 scores.
Notre Dame's offense has done very little in this half. This is a big play here, both ways from the 43, 3rd and 7. Notre Dame keep it on the ground with a designed run, or do they go up top?
1-on-1 on the outside.
Wimbush throws incomplete. It was just a half step away from Claypool as the pressure came on. So after 1 first down, the Michigan defense does its job. Gets Notre Dame's offense off the field.
Claypool on the slant route against Long. Long does a good job of closing. Ball was just a little out in front. He almost pulled that in with 1 hand.
Almost tipped it to Long as well. So close.
You're going to keep it alive. It's alive for everyone.
Donovan Peoples-Jones stands at the 10. Remember, he fielded one inside his own 5. It's been an outstanding punting night for Newsome after the first one. He's put the Wolverines back inside their 5 twice. May have hit this one too well. He did. Touchback, so Michigan will get it at the 20. Only 23 net yards. 5:07 to go. We haven't seen Patterson come back out of the locker room yet. So will it be McCaffrey back at quarterback when you come back? Ed McCaffrey's parents, both Dad Ed, the 3-time Super Bowl champ, and his mom Lisa, terrific athletes in college. Mentioned brother Christian, played at Stanford. Max played at Duke. And Dillon's getting his shot under fire here. Shea Patterson in, likely getting an IV. First down pass incomplete with a flag down as Drew Tranquill made contact with Zach Gentry. Here is Patterson returning to the Michigan sideline with 5:02 remaining.
Well, they're in a true 2-minute offense situation now because they're 2 scores in 5 minutes. It's stand in there and drop back and throw the football.
Let's see what the call will be here.
Pass interference. Defense number 23. 15-yard penalty, first down.
I assume that was what it was going to be on Tranquill's in a very good game. At that will or weak side linebacker spot.
Gentry and Tranquill exchanging little shove, little pull. I don't know about that call. I thought Tranquill had good body position.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
That did not need to be called. But Harbaugh was in the official's ear on the play down the field on 4th down, and maybe
Notre
bought
Dame
himself
is
a call.
challenging that the ball was tipped.
Okay, so Terry, Notre Dame's challenging that the ball was tipped, and you can go to replay to check that out.
That is correct. That would be a reviewable play, and if replay has indisputable evidence that it was tipped, then they'll pick up the flag.
Dalen Hayes does get his arm in.
Nobody gets to the ball. They got to every other thing with McCaffrey but the ball. Yeah, the call itself downfield
I don't see the ball tipped there.
Yeah.
And I really don't think this is pass interference. I mean, they're bodying up on each other. I don't see any restriction. The ball's thrown short. You're kind of bailing out the receiver if you're going to call defensive pass interference on this one.
Terry, as we were talking about pass interference, we thought we'd see a lot of man-to-man in this game. Can you share the verbiage or the terminology that, well, let's hear the call first from Jeff Flanagan.
After review, ruling is the ball was not tipped. Pass interference stands, first down. Notre Dame will lose the timeout, and they also lose the challenge for the rest of the game.
Yeah, because they challenged it. You get the one here, you lose the timeout. The verbiage that you used to talk about, okay, how do you determine if hand fighting is or is not pass interference?
You're really looking for a material restriction, a grab, a hold, an arm bar, something that restricts the receiver.
Got to keep that term in mind as you watch football here. So there is Shea Patterson back in the game. 5 minutes to go, down 14. First down from the 35. And against the four-man rush, trying to set up the screen, getting it to Chris Evans, who has a couple of blockers here, and Evans gets out to the 48, gain of 13. Stop the clock with 4:52. Jalen Elliott, the Notre Dame tackle.
Screens are always a great way to get a 2-minute drive going. Get your rhythm go. It also offsets the pass rush, and we have another player down.
Jerry Tillery is down for Notre Dame. Again, game one, this happening to so many players here on this very hot, humid night with a lot of emotion. Very often we see the guys get ready for a game, they build up, you go through the first half, and then that 20 minutes in between at halftime, you sit, you come back out and get the body back up. And sometimes you'll see some of these guys with these big muscles cramp.
Well, we saw Shea out there 2 hours before the game, running around, having fun, running all over the place. So he started it early.
That's a really good point. You said that to me during the game. Like sometimes you have so much energy, you use too much before the game gets started because of that adrenaline that's
it's a good way to get the adrenaline out and come back down to earth for the kickoff and be ready to play. But you're exerting a lot of energy.
So Tillery out. And Jason Ademiola, the freshman from Jackson, New Jersey, making his Notre Dame debut tonight, comes in as one of the defensive pass rushers. Patterson is flushed, gets it in the hands of Evans, doing a good job on this drive as a receiver. Out of bounds at the 28-yard line with 4.5 to go. Michigan's moving it down the field. Still with plenty of time and 3 timeouts.
Nice job by Patterson stepping up and through. And I bet you normally he takes off and runs with this, but with the cramping issue, dump it to your tailback and let him run. And Evans is very good out of the backfield receiving.
24-yard gain for Evans. 13 on that prior pass play. From the 28. Shea Patterson out of the pocket. On the move. Tavon Coney the tackle. Gain of about 3. Under 4 minutes left.
You gotta have a little more sense of urgency. You let the clock run a little too much on because you need 2 scores, not just 1.
And they're huddling here.
Calling it off the wristband. You got to have some one-word calls in these situations where you can line up and just go.
Tick, 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 tick. 3.5 left. Wow. 4-man rush. Patterson has time. Looking downfield for somebody to come open. It's incomplete to Evans. Doug, that's one of the things you always are all over, the clock management that you have to have in key situations. No urgency on the Michigan side right now.
Not at all. He had a chance at Gentry on a wheel route there. If he had stuck with it for a little bit, maybe he got a little pressure and flush. But Gentry starts on the wheel. He takes the inside route. Watch him slip underneath Tranquil. Was gone. But by then, Patterson may have been on the move. Was uncertain that it didn't appear like it might break open, so he gave up on it.
4 down territory, 3rd and 7. Notre Dame backs out of the pressure. They'll cover with 7. Patterson directing, moving, throwing. It's caught. On the run, it's Oliver Martin to the 6-yard line. 1st and goal with 3:07 to go. The sophomore from Iowa.
Great job as keeping that play alive, directing traffic downfield.
Now Michigan jumping in quick here. Ronnie Bell, the freshman receiver at the top of the screen. From the 5, first and goal, Patterson. Gives to Higdon. 2 yards to the 3.
Every second counts here. You have to try to score as quickly as possible. I don't know about running the football up in there.
Oliver Martin, 6'1" receiver, comes bottom of the screen. Brian Kelly's defense hasn't allowed a touchdown here tonight. The only Michigan score on a kickoff return. Notre Dame making sure that they're all covered at the top of those 2 receivers. Here's Patterson inside Higdon in the end zone for a Michigan touchdown. Karan Higdon, who had 11 rushing touchdowns last year, gets Michigan's first offensive score of the season. And we've got a ball game with 2:18 to go.
They ran 2:49 off the clock. They did get it into the end zone. Watch your right guard, 50 here. Onwenu closes it down, creates a crease, north and south and into the end zone. But the clock ran. They could have, even in running the same plays that they ran, they probably could have shaved 30, 40 seconds.
Nordine adds the extra point. Decision time, 2:18, 3 timeouts. You turn it over to your defense, the onside kick. 7-point Notre Dame lead. Tonight's aerial coverage is being brought to you by the unexpected energy of ExxonMobil. Well, it's Michigan Notre Dame. It had to get close at some point, right? It was, over the years, it's always right around 24-17, 24-23. The freshman Jake Moody on. Notre Dame expecting an onside kick. Only one Notre Dame player out of your shot there.
I would assume he's kicking it deep with the 3 timeouts.
You think he'll turn it over to the defense and shut him down?
Maybe pop it into the intermediate area or something like that.
He does try to kick it a little bit shorter. The fair catch is signaled and made. First time we see that rule in this game. The fake fair catch allows Notre Dame to take the ball at the 25-yard line.
I believe the crowd believes it's at the 8.
I roll the ball be placed at the 25-yard line. First down.
That's the rule change this year, impacting that situation because you kick it deep, you're hoping to get better field position than that. So Michigan has 3 timeouts, 2:18 to go for the Irish.
So here's where your quarterback runs come into play.
And look at the play clock. This is what Terry McCauley said earlier. Notre Dame got called for, Michigan got called for a delay of game. Notre Dame's out there ready to go. The Michigan defense is not. The official is holding, waiting for Michigan's defense to get out there, and now they reset the play clock. Very interesting. Glad you were all over that because
I'd run out and snap the ball before the official gave me a chance to pump up the play clock.
And if you get a delay game on offense, you should be allowed to do it and get the defense in trouble if they're not ready. From the 25, first down run. It is Jafar Armstrong, gets 2 to the 27. Timeout Wolverines at 2:12. Above the rest, brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs.
Timeout.
Brandon Wimbush doing it with the legs and the arm here tonight, Doug.
I'll tell you, the early in the game, hitting these one-on-one throws down the field was big for him, and then he started escaping the pocket up under and through. Really good job all night long of stepping up with that edge pressure. Here, he just made up his mind, I'm throwing his post no matter what. He was accurate down the field with the ball, which was huge early. All their touchdowns coming in that first half. But using his legs, I mean, that's Brandon Wimbush at his best. I mean, he takes off. He bought time on the one play forever to find Claypool on the crossing route. I mean, he's a heck of an athlete with a big-time arm. 12 for 22. It's over 50%. He had better numbers early. The second half's not quite as good.
What's the story here? 67 yards allowed by this Michigan defense in the second half. They've got to come up with 2 stops to give their offense a chance. 2nd and 8. Claypool is in motion. Wimbush is running that way where all the bodies were coming. Only a 2-yard gain. 2:06 in the timeout. So if Michigan can do the same thing, they'll get the ball back with no timeouts and about 1:50 or so remaining in the game with a chance to tie this one.
Michigan, 2nd timeout. 30-second timeout.
With the way the clock stops on first downs in college football, that is plenty of time with no timeouts. If you have 1:55 and no timeouts to go into a 2-minute drill, you've got plenty of time to get it done.
So in so many ways, Doug, it kind of comes down to maybe this play or another one. If you think about it, with the one timeout left with a minute 55 or so, you're going to be able to just take a couple of knees and run out most of the clock. So this really becomes the pressure down for both teams.
You're going to get pressure from Michigan. You're going to get man-to-man coverage if you dare throw the football. The only way you throw the football here is some type of crossing, like underneath in your pick plays or running a receiver through. Otherwise, you're doing your quarterback run thing where Wimbush is carrying the football.
I'm very surprised to see this in the air. 3rd and 6. Similar design to the last play. It's kept by Wimbush, and he will get 3 yards, but be stopped. Michigan timeout at 2 minutes left, so that big reputation Michigan defense comes up huge, and they will have a chance here to get the ball back. Michigan injury, one more injury on the field, as Tyree Cannell, the safety, went down for the Wolverines.
So you're punting the ball away with 2 minutes on the clock, so a minute 50-ish, as you were saying. Plenty of time to put a 2-minute drive together where the clock stops on those first downs. If you get in that 2-minute mode, Shea Patterson's going to have to run around a little bit and move. That cramping issue may kick back in.
But the Michigan offense, which was stagnant, I think would be the best word to describe them in the first half. Only 90 yards, came right out that first snap of the second half, albeit after a delay game, took a shot down the field, tried to inject some energy into the offense. It was one of the few downfield plays we've seen. 52-yard completion to Nico Collins. And they have 205 yards, most of them through the air in this second half. Obviously, they're in comeback mode, but
it's very difficult for them to go down the field right now because of the pressure they're getting from the Notre Dame defensive line. They're beating blocks up front and getting quick pressure. So most of it's been quick rhythm passing and the ball's out. The one big play they did hit on that post route was a hard play action where he bought a little bit of time and then turned it loose.
We give both athletic training staffs a lot of credit tonight because they've been kept very busy, players cramping. And the Michigan side, they had to make the decision, took Patterson in probably to get an IV. We're not sure about that, but that certainly got him back on the field here with a chance to finish the game. Tyler Newsome, see if he comes up with a big kick. Donovan Peoples-Jones back deep to receive. Determine the field position for this potential last Michigan drive. Michigan sets up a return. Good high kick with hang time. Peoples-Jones, 53-yarder. Got it at the 14. He's got some room on that far side. Peoples-Jones gets to the far side, but could not turn the corner. And he's out of bounds at the 25. And that's where the Wolverines will get it with 1:48 to go. And here we go.
I will bet this is where Shea Patterson's at his best. Patterson loves this situation. He's an athletic guy. He's going to buy some time, probably get a first down or two with his legs, or that is his hopes.
Desmond Howard to Roy Roundtree. Over the years, there have been big plays late in the Michigan-Notre Dame game. Reggie Ho, the kicker for the Irish. Will somebody out there add their name to that list here tonight? First down, Patterson, pressured by Okwara, completes the pass. Grant Perry, they release inbound, so the clock still turns. Michigan, no timeouts.
That's the variable, is the pressure Notre Dame has been getting, and Okwara had pressure there on a quick throw.
90 seconds left. Gotta go. 2nd and 6, 3-man rush. Patterson is being spied, throws on the run, complete again. It's Perry. First down, clock stops, 44-yard line. $1:14 to go.
Great job of stepping up through and finding Perry on the move. He's moving around within the pocket to buy a little bit of time and still keeps his eyes up the field.
Change set, clock starts. Michigan is not managing the clock well. 1 minute left. Here's Patterson throwing. Dropped, incomplete. Zach Gentry, the tight end. Might have been better off dropping
Absolutely.
the ball.
Not a horrible drop because it would have been about a 5-yard gain and the clock running. In college football, when I ran a 2-minute drill, I was always trying to throw the ball a little past the change or only on the sidelines or near first down yardage. Because if you get that first down, you get lined up and snap the ball right away. And they are delaying when they line up.
Second down. Patterson in trouble. He lost the football. It's free. The Irish pick it up. Tavon Coney out of bounds. Ball game. Notre Dame will win.
I believe it was Jerry Tillery that got the hand in there to strip the ball. It was.
They had 3 guys around him. I think you're right, Doug. 99.
Pressure on the edge. He starts to step up. Tillery comes free, slaps that ball out, and it's loose. Coaches are probably yelling at Coney to fall on this. Tillery just keeps after it.
And starts with Khalid Kareem's pressure that forces Patterson up.
Now just follow the ball if you're Notre Dame. You don't need to pick this thing up to win the game.
Let's see, we're going to replay for something here with all the noise from the crowd. I couldn't hear the announcement by Jeff Flanagan. It was a chance for Patterson in his mind to that first game at Michigan where he grew up going games.
The ruling on the field of a fumble recovered by the defense.
Okay.
It's confirmed. First down.
Confirmed. As a last gasp effort, you challenge it.
Or maybe they didn't. I don't think they challenged it. They have no timeouts. They wouldn't have lost one there. So they just wanted to check it to make sure they were clean upstairs. This is a huge win for the Irish. Remember, they lost not just 2 offensive linemen. They lost the number 6 and number 9 pick in the draft and a 1,400-yard running back. They're playing as good a defense as you saw in the country and returning people. And all the talk of Patterson, who knew what we were going to see? Because there was a lot of mystery around Michigan and the offense. Would it be spread? And Notre Dame's going to come away with a victory. Michigan's going to lose a true road game for the 17th consecutive time against a ranked opponent. And you know the Wolverines have Wisconsin and Sparty and Penn State and Ohio State still to come. And a trip to Northwestern, too. But for Brian Kelly's team, with the unknowns and the big opponent, good start to the season. Notre Dame 24, Michigan 17, in another chapter in one of the great rivalries in all of college football.
Notre Dame 24, Michigan 17.
And again, let's go back to that play that we were discussing earlier. The flush by Jerry Tillery. They told us this week he has to show for Notre Dame to have a big game. And for all the talk of the Michigan defensive front 7, Notre Dame's defensive front 7 and their defense coordinated by Clark Lee making his debut as a coordinator may be the unit that was the difference-making unit here tonight. Here's Catherine Tappan with the winning coach, Brian Kelly.
Coach, defense, the story for your team all game long, and only fitting that they ended it on a big defensive play as well. How would you grade this team's performance defensively?
I'm so proud of our defensive effort today. You know, obviously, we gave up 7 points on a kickoff return, but they were resilient and had to play a lot of football in the second half. You know, that defense at Michigan is really good, but I'm proud of our football team. You know, they've had to listen to all the experts say how great Michigan was, and they came out and they were the better team tonight.
What did you learn from your quarterback, Brendan Wimbush, tonight?
He's a competitor. Made the throws when he needed to, ran physical, ran our football team, and, you know, he's 10-2 as a starter, and he's tough and competitive, and our kids love playing around him.
Coach, thank you very much. Mike?
Deshaun Kaiser now with the Green Bay Packers as a backup. One over there. Brian Kelly, he worked that voice for sure. It was a very emotional game all the way around, both sides. 2 great schools. Shame you can't see it every year, but we got to see it this year. And we'll see it again next year in Ann Arbor. Michigan, Notre Dame. So great to see these great institutions and legendary programs on the field. The winners get to sing at Notre Dame.
That was kind of close, huh?
It's a sweeter song. They always sing. It's sweeter for the Irish fans when they win.
Love you, Sam. Love you too, brother.
One loss does not take you out of the championship chase. We've seen that over the years. In Michigan, the schedule I gave, they have a really rough road and many big games, plus the conference angle to get a second door to the college football playoff conversation. But Notre Dame, without that conference opportunity, very few chances to stub their toe and keep going. But they get the big one here. Here's Catherine with Brandon Wimbush.
All right, Mike, thank you very much, Brendan. Plenty of congratulations from your teammates there. What does a win like this do for your confidence?
It boosts it, certainly. Mike, can you get my my mouthpiece down there, please? For my confidence, I mean, we were as confident as anybody coming into this game. So I mean, you know, we're at a great place right now, and obviously this will reaffirm our confidence. And I'm excited to get back to work with these guys.
You have a tough schedule ahead this season, Brendan. What does this win do for the momentum of this team going forward?
Like I said, it definitely reaffirms our confidence.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Catherine.
Mike.
All right, Catherine, thank you. As they celebrate and enjoy, Doug Flutie, what'd you learn about Notre Dame here week one?
Brandon Wimbush threw the ball well, made some nice throws, but it was the defensive line. Dalen Hayes and Julian Acquire getting pressure on the quarterback, guys getting through, and you know, maybe it's defensive scheme, but a lot of it was individuals beating guys one-on-one to the quarterback.
As Brian Kelly said, a lot of talking, rightfully so, as you saw in the second half. That Michigan defense is good and will be good. Notre Dame came out ready, hit them with 2 touchdowns, and the hole was too big, and the questions remain about Michigan's offense. Where will they be? They'll probably get better, you would think, with Shea Patterson at quarterback.
Yeah, with him at quarterback and their offensive line improving off of last year, they will get better, and he'll get more and more confident. It's definitely a much better job at the quarterback position.
All right, that's game one. We're back at it Saturday. Ball State comes here to Notre Dame, and we'll be with you here on NBC. Brian Kelly's full press conference, by the way, on NBCSports.com. Coming up next here on NBC, except on the West Coast, your late local news. We're back here in a week. It's Ball State against the Irish, 3:30 Eastern Time. You want more? Post-game show over on NBCSN. We'll all be there. Pierre Musa, our director, Rob Highland, our producer, our great Notre Dame team, Terry McCauley, Catherine Tappan, and Doug Flutie, Mike Tarifa. So long from South Bend. The Irish win by 7. Thanks for watching Notre Dame football on NBC. Presented by Wendy's.